Makaila Thomas, and I am here today interviewing Dr. Pohl. He is Dr. Pohl of Pohl Veterinarian Services in Weidman, Michigan. Dr. Pohl is from the Netherlands. He grew up there. And the show shows his real-life experience of rehabilitating animals. Let's go! Hi, Pumpkin.
Oh, gorgeous. Oh, hi,
That cat is not afraid of anything except cars. Thank goodness.
Oh my. Yes.
And he lays here in the middle of the floor. Hunting dogs come in. Oh, a cat! I'm going to chase it. And he's like, "Hi, how are you?" Not moving. And the dog says, "Huh? You're not running?" Oh, forget it. He lays right in the middle of the waiting room when people come in. He has never growled, never scratched, never bit any kid that comes through here. None.
He is so sweet.
He is. Wow.
Hi, I'm Makaila Thomas, and I'm here with Dr. Pohl. He is a veterinarian in Pohl Veterinarian Services in Weidman, Michigan. Hi, Dr. Pohl. How are you doing today?
I am fine. It's Saturday and we are just done with all the small animals that we have here.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yes.
How is it like? Is it quiet here? Very quiet?
No. Actually, we are very busy here because we are one of the few clinics that are open on weekends. Because we do large animal, and it's all, cows and horses, and they don't know it's a weekend. So if they get sick, we do it. And because of that, we also do small animals. When there are emergencies, we try to do our own. And yeah, there's a lot of them. And most clinics around now are closed on the weekends. People have to go to emergency clinics, and that's always far away. So yes, we see a lot of animals on the weekends.
So on that topic, you and your wife started your clinic in 1981, right? In your own home.
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, that was easy because at that time I was 80% dairy. There were 3 or 4 dairy farms every mile. So yes, I had a very small cubicle in the garage that were built by the Amish, where I did my small animals, but there were not many. And so yes, I was out day and night because whenever, one time, see, we had clients that would milk the cows after the kids went to bed at night, after 9. We also had people that would milk the cows before supper. And I remember one night when I was called out at 1 o'clock in the morning for a calving, had a set of twins. Just was back in bed, and the other people called that started at 3 o'clock in the morning because they had a cow that was down with milk fever. So 2 hours sleep happened.
So you were very busy.
Yes, we were very busy at that time, but it was a lot of fun. But we got help pretty quickly because there were a lot of cows. And yes, right now all these cows are gone. Farming now is a job that doesn't pay any more unless you're very big. And so the family farm is gone, and now, yes, we are now 70%, 60% small animal, but we have a lot of Amish in our practice who have horses. So we still do a whole bunch of horse work.
That sounds amazing. I love horses. They're just so
Then we should
beautiful.
go back here and look at our fishes
Really?
before you leave.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
We'll do that.
And I see that you're very passionate about animals. What was it like becoming a veterinarian, and how did it impact you?
Well, I was the youngest of 6. Don't forget, there's a book out. Did you read it?
I didn't even know there was a book.
Oh my goodness.
But I like reading, so.
Never turn your back on an Angus cow. It actually tells how everything happened. And when I was the youngest of 6, and we had a dairy farm in the Netherlands. And because the Netherlands, there's a lot of people per square mile. In fact, if there were just as many people per square mile in Michigan as there are in the Netherlands, half the United States population would be in Michigan. Get it? No, would be crowded. So anyway, land is scarce. So I could become a dairy farmer, and that's in the book also, when I was 12 years old, I was tall and skinny, and the local veterinarian that we had was a typical large animal guy, big shoulders, big arms, and my brother had some pigs that were actually too small to be bred, so piglets wouldn't come out. So he called the vet. So the vet stopped at our house. He said, "You come with me." So here I was 12 years old. He says, "Get in there." Never done that before. So here I was laying in the straw behind those pigs, up to my shoulder, grabbing hold of little piglets and pulling them out. That was a lot of fun. Really, it was. It wasn't dirty. It was just a lot of fun to get those things out.
So that's where your
And
love
that's
for-
when I thought, you know what? If I can become a farmer, I want to become a veterinarian.
Wow.
And that's how it happened.
How many years of school did you have to
A lot.
endure?
All of them. Yes. So in the Netherlands it's different. You go to elementary, and then there are separate high schools also for whatever you want to become later on. So you go from elementary to a high school, and from there you go to college. And the minimum was 6.5 years. And it took me 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, when you were younger, can you tell us more about the Netherlands? Like, what was it like?
Yes, where we were living, it was quiet, really, because how should I say that? We were in an area, there was only farms there, and there was a whole bunch of woods around us, about 10,000 acres. And by the time I was 15, I knew every path in those woods. I grew up with big dogs, with St. Bernards, and when I went to college already, I came back and we walked through the woods. I would walk for 4-6 hours through the woods. And I still remember one time I had the flu. I came back from college and I didn't feel good. I felt a little bit better. I says, "Okay, I'm going for a walk." And suddenly I kind of wake up and said, "Where am I?" I know. Okay, so I'm looking at the clouds. Okay, the clouds are going that way. Okay, then I have to go that way, and that's how I found my home. I just walked another, half a mile, and by the time I recognized where I was. But I still remember that feeling. Where am I? I had no idea because I wasn't feeling completely healthy yet. But yes, I knew just about every path in there and had a lot of fun. Cycling and all that stuff through the woods, but especially walking with my St. Bernard was fantastic. Yeah.
How big was he, like?
Well,
do you
this
remember?
one was not that big. She was a female. Right now we have a St. Bernard that's 225 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I can show you some picture when we get done.
Okay.
He is huge.
What are some of the rarest patients that you've cared for?
Because what I feel, a veterinarian means that you help animals. And that means whatever animal comes through the door will help. But I draw the line at skunks and possums and coons. No. Those are wild animals. The DNR can take care of those. But any animal that people want as a pet, I'll try to help. And yes, when the show started, somebody brought in an alligator, 5 years old. And I thought, a 5-year-old alligator? 5 foot, 6 foot, 10 foot? He was 2 feet long. And he comes back here and there with tape around his mouth, and they were wondering why he didn't grow. I says, where do you live? Here in Michigan. Where do you have him? Outside in the pond? Yeah.
Here in Michigan.
Here in Michigan. That's why he's not growing.
Oh my
He's
God.
cold.
Right.
He
like
just
Florida.
eats enough. Yeah, he just eats enough to stay alive, but he didn't grow. So we helped him out, and I don't know what they did with him. I think they got rid of him because, you can't keep a cold-blooded animal outside here in Michigan.
Right. That's why they're mostly in Florida.
That's
or,
right.
like,
That's
tropical
right.
places.
Yeah.
Speaking of alligators or things that may bite you, have you ever gotten injured by one of your patients?
The worst I had was I was pregnancy checking at a place, and this cow was trying to, shoot her way in, and I tried to stop it, and she just swings her head, and I busted my rotor cuff.
Oh my god.
And that's it. And this is, the rotor cuff that was hurt, but everything is fine. I've been kicked many times, never broken a bone.
By animal, like you've
By
been.
animal. I've been kicked, yes, but you have to know the animal. First of all, I tell them, look in their eyes. Because for I don't know how many years, I was working with a rodeo outfit. The J Ranch Rodeo. Wild bulls, wild horses for rodeos. You better know what those animals do and can do. So what you do, yes, you learn to look in their eyes, and you know when they're going to do what. And that's the whole secret. So if you know that, okay, this animal is trying to attack me, well, you either jump over the gate or, all the other thing is stand completely still. If you're not threatening for the animal most of the time will not attack you.
Right.
So, you look at them, okay, okay, you're scared, but I'm not a threatening thing, and then they walk away.
Right, because
And
they
that's
know
how
that
you-
they're
Yeah,
safe.
when you're threatening for them, they'll attack you.
And back to the family who owned an alligator, for those considering to adopt animals, what advice would you give them?
If you want anything different than a dog or a cat, because most people know how to take care of dogs or cats, but then again, sometimes they don't even do that anymore, because Paul Harvey, have you heard of Paul Harvey?
No.
Have you heard of Paul Harvey? Paul Harvey was a commentator on the radio. And this is 40 years ago, already heard this. He says, right now, people are 3 or 4 generations away from farming, and they do not know how to take care of animals because they have not been taught how. The farmer knows how to take care of animals, otherwise he goes bankrupt.
Right.
So when you know how to take care of animals, yeah, that's fine. But now we had already where people didn't know how. So that was the problem. And you see that now too, where yes, I want a dog, but they don't know how. If you want anything different, you better go online and find out exactly how to take care of them. That lady just walking out here has bearded dragons and so on. You see a lot of those now because they're easy to take care of, they're kind of fun, and yes, they know who the owner is.
Right.
But they take special care because again, they are cold-blooded animals. So Tater, doesn't care about dogs. Cats can come in here, but if the cats come in his territory, he doesn't like it. But they already been nose to nose, so I think they're accepting each other a little bit more.
Good.
But anyway, yes, Tommy is in the room, in a different room where there's food and water and everything, but he's fine. So that's the problem, where we did not neuter animals, and they just got tons of little ones.
Yeah, that reminds me of my Mimi's house up north. We have tons of cats.
Yeah, and okay, I'm here. See, I came to the States because Diane is from Mayville, which is just north of Detroit, about an hour north of Lapeer. And that's all in that book, so you should get that book before you leave.
Okay.
But I'm in the States. I have nieces in Canada. I still have relatives in the Netherlands. I have a niece in Germany, a niece in France, and just recently, about 4 or 5 months ago, my nephew moved to Australia.
Oh wow.
Australia, they say now has over 2 million feral cats. That means nobody owns them. And Australia's warmer than here, so these cats have no problem staying alive. 17 species of songbirds are on the brink of extinction that are only in Australia because of cats. So yes, kittens are fine, and you can love them, But feral cats, they reproduce like rabbits. And that's the problem, because the feral cat is in direct competition with birds of prey. Owls, hawks, and everything that eat rodents, so do cats. When the rodents are gone, the cats will climb the tree and eat songbirds. So, yes, feral cats is a big problem. Australia says they are not putting out poison sausages. Yeah, it's just like you read the name of the cat on the sausage. There are other animals that will eat it too. So I don't know how they can do that. To be honest,
survival of the fittest.
see, and there's a couple states here in the United States. If you're hunting and you see a cat running through the woods and there's not a house there, open season, you can shoot it. And then everybody thinks that's terrible, or that little kitty shoot the kitty. No, it's a feral cat that is not a indigenous animal here. It's not. It's brought in here.
Right. It's not.
And it is taking a toll on all the birds of prey and everything, songbirds. So no, we have to control.
Right. It's
One
controlled.
way or the other.
Right.
And here in Mount Pleasant, you have a lot of them too. And they try now to catch, neuter, and release. But you better get them all.
Yeah. In addition to being on NatGeo Wild, what other goals do you have for your career or for the future for the clinic?
Uh-oh. Never thought about it.
I can ask you something else.
No. There's no goals. We try to help as many as possible, because nowadays it seems like having a pet is becoming more expensive. And
Yeah.
it still is an animal. So the biggest problem is if everybody wants a pet, and I can understand it. You want the pet, you want the cat, you want the dog. But if you cannot afford to take the animal to the vet when there's something wrong because it costs too much, who's suffering?
The animal.
My motto, if you can't sell a Cadillac, sell them a Ford. They'll get there too. So give them options. This is the Cadillac treatment. I'm sorry, I don't have the money for that. Okay, we can cut this out, cut that out. So the very important thing is to do a good physical. We have 5 senses. Use them. Taste is dead last. But use them. Do a physical, try to find out, and if they cannot afford all the testing, x-rays, ultrasound and all that stuff, do the best you can with the physical and treat the animal. Help it. And this is what I'm doing.
So I love that answer. That really spoke to me.
Thank you.
So if you can go back at any point in your career, whether it be like the beginning when you were going to medical school or kind of in the middle, what would you do differently?
Not much. Not much. Because, well, like I said, I was one of 6, but I'm the only one left because I was younger. My oldest brother died last year. He was 92. And he told me one time, if your job is like your hobby, you'll never work a day in your life. And guess what? I saw it in the funnies last Sunday. I think it was Hagar the Horrible was saying it something like this: if your job is like a hobby, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right, because you enjoy it so much it doesn't feel like working.
And that's why I've been doing this now for 50 years. And I've taught myself to do things that I was not taught in college. And yeah, some people always say, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. Well, I do it, and it works. And what I don't like also is where, where these people say, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. What if? So, no, I don't do what if. Because what if you don't want to get out of bed because you may break a leg getting out of bed. So you get up and get to work. And that's the whole secret.
Get up and go to work.
Yeah.
What wisdom can you give to the youth of today?
Follow your dreams. Make them come true. Work for it. Now don't sit and let it come to you. Go after it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pohl.
Thank
I'm
you.
serious.
Thank you.
No, thank you. I'm Makaila Thomas, where knowledge is power. What
And
do
what
you
want to be when you grow up?
One more time.
No!
One more time.
I can't do that. I cannot do anything.
You got it.
That was a good one.
I know. Do it again. Do it again.
No. I like what you
No,
just said.
I like it.
No.
That's Dr. Pohl.
Wait, you
This
should
is
keep that in
Michigan.
there. Wait, let's
Say that. Say this is Michigan.
What's that?
Say this is Michigan.
This is Michigan. And we have a beautiful fall right now.
We love it when you say that.
This is Michigan.
And hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie.
She's 23 years old.
Hi.
Her mother
That's a
died
boy.
14
Hi, sweetie.
man kicking. She's hanging in there.
And
This is the newest one. Diane just bought another Frisian mare. This is Delilah. She is 4, broke to drive, broke to ride, and
hi, sweetie.
pregnant supposedly. I haven't pregnant
Are
checked her
you
yet.
pregnant? Are you
Very
pregnant?
friendly.
Hi,
She
sweetie.
comes from an
Hi,
army
sweetie.
farm. Was trained by the army.
Hi,
and everything,
sweetie.
really good. The other
Hi.
one, she doesn't know.
Okay, is these?
That is Almika, and she is about 18.
Okay, so those are the two that did the sleigh ride? That pulled the
The
sleigh?
one that did the sleigh ride.
Yeah, okay.
Except she has.
Oh, I see
You
her.
don't want to come.
Hi, sweetie. Hi.
She is the
Hi.
fancy horse. That is the plow horse. And at one time she had a whole bunch of knots on the back of her leg.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And suddenly she comes up